Welcome to Chicago Drives Podcast, your go-to source for all things related to driving in Chicago. From navigating the city's busy streets to understanding the latest traffic laws. What are your questions? Our amazing guests are some of the best people in the business to answer and keep you ahead of the automotive curve. Am I ready to drive alone? What's that sound? Did I get ripped off? How do I protect this huge investment? We are here to help you become a safe and responsible driver on the road. So buckle up and join us in this journey through the ins and outs of driving in the Windy City. Welcome to Chicago Drives Podcast.
Welcome back to Chicago Drives Podcast. My name is Naya, and for today's episode, we're going to talk about love. Not only the romantic love, because it's Valentine's Day, but we're going to talk about love and how to make sure that we embark our kids or teenagers into the roads, because as a parents, we got to make sure we love them dearly. And for that, we have our friend Frank right here that is going to join us, and we're going to talk about different types of tips, different things, recommendations about driving. So hello, Frank.
Hello, Naya. Thank you for having me again.
Welcome.
Well, before we dive into the tips that we are looking for, we have to remember that it's mandatory for teenagers to take a driver ed course in order to be able to get their driver's license. Without that, they cannot. Also, here at Nova, we provide the foundation for all your teens so they can have trusted professionals as we are here, and so that they can start their journey into safety.
That is right, correct. So let's start talking about one of the words that, for me, it's the most important word that as a parent I should have, the word of trust. So why is trust such a big deal when teaching a teen, to drive, and how does Nova help in that transition?
Great question. Trust requires a huge responsibility. It can feel overwhelming for teenagers. Knowing they're receiving the professional assistance by Nova will also help in that trust. Here at Nova, we have instructors that are very well trained and professional to help the students overcome their fears. And we are not judgmental. And we provide a good environment for them to learn from. We allow them to make mistakes and grow without judgment and pressure.
And not only the trust on the teen, but also the trust as a parent. I think this is very important. And also the instructor's trust, because we got to trust our teens, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that is so important, Frank. So do you think it's important to have a conversation with our teens before they go into driving?
Yes. Start by having conversations with your teen. Get to know their feelings, their anxieties, what's making them nervous. Are they scared of anything in particular? And then focus on the small steps. Examples, start on quiet streets before moving on to busier streets. Make it and celebrate their progress. Make it easy and celebrate the progress, no matter how small.
That's an excellent point, Frank, and very important to, as a parent, we want to make sure that our kids have the trust on us, right? We're talking about trust and having them start in small streets, like around their neighborhood, and then go out from there, right?
Absolutely. Small neighborhoods, empty parking lots. Build their confidence slowly, reinforce the skills that they learned at Nova, like smooth braking, maintaining a safe following distance, adjustment of mirrors, all these, how to adjust the seat properly. All these things are important, and they've been the foundation that Nova has already instilled in them. Help them recognize potential hazards, understanding traffic flow, a number of things. Let's not forget the difficult aspects like backing maneuvers and parking maneuvers. All these tricky skills that can overwhelm a student, and be patient and practice. There's an old saying that says practice makes perfect, and that's not entirely true. Perfect practice makes perfect. You better practice it correctly so that the end result is correct. Simple practice, if they're practicing it wrong, they're never going to get it right. And the parents need to work this out with the students, the teenagers, so that they're on the same page as we are.
Good, great advices, Frank. So I remember when I was learning how to drive, one of the hardest things for me to do was parking maneuvers. All the time I had issues with parking maneuvers, and I wish I would have a school like Nova or instructors that would be patient, professional, and a good sort of guidance for me to learn how to parallel parking, perpendicular parking, angle parking, all those type of maneuvers that we teach our teenagers when they come here at Nova Driving School. So that's great. Frank, I have a question for you. We know that after our kids or teens are up there driving already, we know that to master the roads, it has to happen the driving more constantly, more driving around, more experience and all of that. How can parents ensure their teens that they're driving safely and confident and defensively? How can we assure as parents that they're doing that? Because let me tell you something, my teenager, when I'm in the car, perfect, signaling everything, looking at the mirror, doing perfect. But how do I know, or how can I trust my teen that he will do the same thing even if I'm not in the car? What are your recommendations?
Preparation is key. Make sure that the vehicle is in perfect working condition. Brakes are good. Tires are filled properly. Make sure that they adjust the mirrors. Everything has to be correct before they even move the car, first and foremost. Secondly, choose when and where to practice. Choose empty parking lots. Choose the time of day that it's less congested out there. Early mornings, late evenings, when traffic is not as bad. So that is good. And most importantly, we have to stay calm. Teenagers reflect the nervousness that we express. If a teenager notices that you're fidgety and you're constantly hitting the imaginary brake that's on the passenger side, that reflects and gets them nervous. Yes. So we have to stay calm and be ready for any mistakes that they make. But more importantly, focus on their positives. Whenever they say something or do something that's positive, emphasize that. And that helps them solidify the foundation that nobody has set forth.
That is so true. So, like I said, we as parents, I don't know if you still have teenagers, Frank, but I do. I do have 3 teenagers. And for me, sometimes it's tough to trust. But like you said, practice makes perfect, or perfection makes
Perfect practice.
Perfect practice. So, and it's essential to give your teenager also the benefit of the doubt that they're going to be doing good, right? So those are great advices, and I really thank you that you're giving us all the tips. So if you will recommend, besides all these tips to the viewers that are watching us, what is the most important thing to do when you're letting your teenager take the road and go for it? But I don't know, from my own perspective as a parent, I'm still scared.
I don't think any parent is ever going to get over their fear of letting their teen go out on the road on their own. But the best thing and the best advice I can say is make sure that you feel they're very prepared. Go over and over as many times as necessary until you feel comfortable with their driving. If you can honestly say, okay, I'm comfortable with your driving, then you might let them venture away on their own. But not until that. You're never going to get over that fear. Whenever they're out on the road, you're going to be at home saying, oh, God, I hope they're safe. I hope they don't have an accident. And that's never going to happen for the rest of your and their lives.
Correct. So that's one of the fears I think parents and whoever is watching us and will understand and feel the same way we do when, our kids are on the road. So let's talk about the other part of the parents, because we have these parents that are eager for them to get, but we also have those parents that don't have the time because work or any other things that they don't have the time to teach their kids. the right way of driving. And one of the requirements is that every teen should have 50 hours of driving. So what is your recommendation on that, my friend?
To tell you the truth, there's a lot of parents out there that may not have the time. Sometimes they are the nervous type and they don't want to take their teen out because
That's true.
I don't think I can handle sitting next
I
to
don't have an extra brain, they told me one time.
My son or daughter. So be rest assured, you can always call Nova. We can do that service for you. They have to have a minimum of 50 hours of additional driving. If the parent either they can't because of work or they can't because of time, but or nervousness, they can always call Nova and we can provide them with those 50 hours.
That's all, folks. If you really, really like this episode about how to teach our kids or teens to drive, and also we are here because we are pinkies today, because today is Valentine's Day. Yeah. So if you really love someone and you want to give him a little love, we have those gift cards here at Nova that you can wrap it up, and give it to the loved one. So if you really did like this episode, I would love for you to share in all your social medias. And if you want to give us a call at 773-489-2712, we are here to help you with lots of love, correct?
Absolutely.
Until the next time, this is Naya and
Frank.